Staying consistent with your habits is easy once you have the correct approach to doing so. The reason why you don't stick to your habits or your goals isn't because you don't want to, but rather because you don't know what to do and when to do it, because you don't have a plan, you aren't tracking your habits, you don't have a reason for doing your habits, you don't have a reason for your goals, so why would you do something that is just up in the air, it's just in your head, you don't have an action plan to fulfill the habit or to stick to the habit. When you set a habit or a goal for yourself, it's usually when you have the motivation to do so, and it's just fun because the idea of starting a thing or obtaining the goal is better than actually doing the work to get to that habit or goal and being consistent with it. So it's easy to be consistent on good days, but it's a little bit harder to be consistent when you are in a bad mood, when you are tired. And motivation is something that's very fleeting, and you can't rely on motivation to do something. You can't even rely on discipline totally, because discipline comes with a lot of caveats, and I would say that discipline comes paired with all of the things that I'm going to be mentioning, because these will make being disciplined easier. Hi, I forgot to film an intro for this, and it feels wrong to begin the video without saying hi, so hi. And now back to the actual video. These are some of the things that have helped me the most in staying on track with my habits and goals. Number one to staying consistent with your goals is to have a habit that translates into a goal. So what this means is have a reason for doing a habit, because it's going to aid into a bigger goal. So let's say you want to run. Why are you running? Like, are you running aimlessly with no purpose in mind? You just run because you want. So you need to have some kind of reason to do the thing, or in this case the habit. So the habit could be you want to be healthier, so you're going to pick something that's going to aid into you being healthier. So let's say that's running. So now you're running is the habit that's going to aid into your goal of being healthier. So now it's clear in your mind why you are doing this. And this is also what I said in my last video about consistency and how to be consistent. So have a reason for your habit, and it will be easier to do the thing because you have a reason that's clear in your mind. Number two is to make the habit easy to do. Don't pick a habit that's going to be so out of reach for you. So if you want to read, the easiest way to obtain a book, do that. If it's going to the library, do that. If it's buying a book online, do that. If it's reading on a Kindle instead of a physical book, or even reading on your laptop, your phone, wherever, do the thing that is easiest for you, or even thrifting secondhand books. So pick something that's going to be easy for you to follow, especially initially when you are starting or embarking on a new habit. Don't do something that you know you won't be able to obtain for the long term, or at least for the initial stages of starting the habit. So make it easy to follow through with your habit. Now, number three is something that I try to do absolutely every single day, and it's the one thing that has helped me stay on track with my habits, and that is having a habit tracker, a reminder somewhere, somehow, that reminds you to do the habit every single day. And here is my habit tracker, and this is something that helps me to really stay on track of my habits every single day. For keeping track of your habits, you obviously know what your habit is at this point. Let's say it's running or reading. So if you want to do it at a specific time, you can set an alarm even for it. Let's say you want to read at 10 at night, your alarm will go off and you know it's reading time. You can even name the alarm as a reading time, or you can put it in your calendar and it will just come up every single day, and you will just know you have to read today. So the thing with the habit is you have to remember to do the habit, because if you don't even remember to do the habit, dis klaar met jou, want jy weet nie eens. You know, my favorite way of doing this is just pen and paper. Just put habit track on top, and then I just have 3 columns on the bottom, and then the first column says habit, then the next one says time allocated to the habit, and the last one is just the day. So on the side you can put down all of your habits. My threshold for the amount of habits that you should have is 10. That's the maximum. Over 10, you're just doing too much, especially if they are all new habits. I would say maximum 3 new habits, but also habits that you are trying to sustain, then 10, but only 3 of them can be new, but the rest of them should be habits that you are trying to maintain and not new ones. And then time allocated. And let's say you want to run 3 times a week, put it down as 3 times, so you know if there are blank spaces on these, that you set the intention for only 3 times so you don't feel bad. So then I just made these, and you can color them in. This is the most simple way to habit track, by just having a piece of pen and paper and just look at it in the morning, or you can look at it in the morning and midday, because then you will still have some time to do the habit and you won't forget about it. So remind yourself. So the thing is to know you have a habit and to remind yourself to do the habit, and then to actually do the habit. So habit track all of your habits, especially when you are starting with it, because when you are starting a new habit, it's something that you want to add to your life, and it isn't already part of you and how you function, so it's not automatic to you yet. Number 4 is to build the foundation of your habit before you improve on the habit. So if you want to become a reader, don't start reading books that are 700 pages long, because they will, in the beginning you will have motivation to finish it, but the reality is a day later or a week later even, you will begin to struggle and you won't actually want to finish this book because it's going on for way too long, and you will want to skip days. So build the foundation of something by doing it the easy way. The easy way is to read shorter books, to read it for shorter periods of times, but to do it consistently over the span of days and weeks, and not to read this whole book in one day. So the last one, number 5, is to not add anything or improve on or add more habits to habits that you are still forming, unless you're going to take away something and subtract another habit. So if you want to read, run, do yoga, journal, paint, you need to either just do 3 of those things and leave the others and rotate them. Like this week we are focusing on reading, next week we're focusing on painting. But whenever you add something, you have to subtract something, because you only have 24 hours in a day and you can't do everything every single day. To avoid yourself being burned out, you have to really stick to your habits until they become automatic. So what I found is when I'm consistent with my habits, it's because I'm following these steps, if not all of them, some of them, and that's what makes me stay so consistent with my habits and goals. And I really urge you to do at least one of these things, especially having a reason for your habit so it can translate into a goal, or simply having a habit tracker to stay on track of your goals and to remind yourself that you have something to do. So that's all for now, and I wish you well, and bye.